Hey y'all, it's your girl Brian Nicole, and thank you guys for tuning in to Keeping It Real with Brian Nicole. Now today I'm back with another bump check video. I'm officially 29 weeks. I'll be 30 weeks tomorrow. As you know, I'm 7 months in my third trimester. And so just here's another bump check. And also I got this dress from Fashion Nova. I was gonna wear it to the gender reveal, but I ended up wearing another one. So yeah, Fashion Nova. I did just get back from brunch, so that's why I'm dressed up. But we're gonna hop right into this video. I do have like some crazy stuff. I literally thought I had COVID the other day, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So like I said, I'm 29 weeks, so Brielle is now as big as the head of cauliflower. So she should be measuring between 15 and 16 inches long and 2.5 to 3 pounds. So she's getting up there in weight, and you can tell that she's not having that much room to move around, because when she does try to move around, she like jabs out on my stomach, and like some of the movements are painful just depending on how she's moving. Let me see some good updates. So she's starting to develop more fat, so she's not as wrinkly anymore. This is a good time to start doing kick counts. And so they do have one on this app called What to Expect. I really don't use it just because I'm good at counting her kicks and knowing, okay, she's moving a lot and when she's active. But basically what you want to do, you want to make sure that during this time, since it's not that much room, you want to make sure she's still very active. So if you notice that your baby hasn't moved at least 10 times in 2 hours, you do need to call your doctor just to see what's going on, because there's sometimes the babies are getting so big that they have their umbilical cord wrapped around their neck. I know someone that happened to. So always make sure that your baby is active. They say if you haven't noticed movement in a while, drink something cold, lay on your back or lay on your left side, and then try to push your stomach to make the move. She's been moving all morning today, especially when I was eating, so now she's probably asleep. But yeah, usually every time I lay down, she starts kicking, or if I touch my stomach, she'll start kicking. So she moves a lot. She's very active, but you always want to make sure at least every 2 hours they want to have some kind of movement. So there is different apps where you could do kick counts, or you could just count like each time you feel her move, any type of movement. Just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see what else. Pretty much the kick counts. So now she's beginning to smile this week, and she's hiccuping a lot more. And so like I said, she's getting more cramped in there because she is growing. So like any kicks, punches, turns, or moves, you can feel it more, and they are more painful. So some of the symptoms that I've been experiencing. Oh, first and foremost, I wanted to let you guys know. So I know my last video, I was like, oh, I have to go to the doctor. I have to do my glucose test. So I passed on the first time. So pretty much when I drank the drink, it was an orange flavor. And so it's pretty much, I feel like I explained this already. I did explain it, but pretty much you just drink that flavored water. You wait an hour at the water. They have to take your blood. And they emailed me. So I got an email. I was like, okay, it's been 2 days. I haven't got a call. Obviously, this is good news so far. And they finally emailed me with my results saying that I passed. And I'm like, yes, so now I don't have to take the 3-hour one. Woo! Got that out of the way. I don't eat that much sugar. I do eat sugar, but it's not like I'm always eating sugar all the time. I actually eat super healthy. I did experience my first Braxton Hicks contraction. And so pretty much with Braxton Hicks, it's just practice contraction. So it's exercise and getting your uterus used to when the actual contractions come. At first I was like, okay, I don't know what this is. Like, I think it's a Braxton Hicks contraction, but I'm not sure. So I had to look it up. So it's pretty much like tightening in your uterus. So your uterus just gets really, really tight. I mean, not your uterus, your abdomen gets really, really tight. And you're just like, oh. And sometimes they say it could be so painful that you fall to your knees. Mine, I was on FaceTime, and so I just like hunched over, like, oh my gosh, and I have to sit down, like, what the heck was that? But yeah, it is in your lower abdomen that you feel it, and it just feels like it gets super tight, and it lasts a few seconds. Um, I want to say the first one I had was the strongest one I've had a few, but they weren't as strong. Back pain, so my lower back pain is kind of increasing. I know last week my back was hurting really bad, but I was doing a lot of moving around. So that's probably why. But as long as your stomach's growing, you are going to experience back pain. So just do like different back exercises. Someone did tell me just to lay on my back and like move my arms up and down. And then try to massage it out and just relax. Don't be on your feet for too long. And also I've noticed like feet pain. So usually my back and my feet, they start to hurt when I'm standing up for a long time or if I'm doing a lot of moving around and not sitting down as often. And so with that, that's when my toes start to swell. So make sure you're always propping your feet up. Whenever you need a break, just sit down. We did move into our new apartment last week, so I was trying to decorate, unpack, and so I was just doing everything instead of trying to sit down. So I think that's why my back and my feet were hurting so much, but now it's not that bad. It's just a little bit of pain, but not really because I am sitting a lot all day. Another symptom, which this is gonna probably happen way sooner than the third trimester, but I want to say the third trimester is when it happens most, just because the baby's getting bigger and they're pretty much sitting on your bladder. But you kind of leak pee when you sneeze, laugh, or cough. I know that's kind of nasty. Well, not kind of, but it is nasty. But you can't help it. Depending on how the baby's positioned, if they're on your bladder, if you sneeze, like you'll just feel a little bit of leakage. That's happened. That's happened to me like back in my first and second trimester, but I've noticed it more just because Brielle is growing. So let me tell you guys so those were my symptoms for this week. Let me tell you a quick story time. So on Thursday morning, I noticed that I had a loss of taste a little bit. I was trying to drink water and my water tasted slimy, and I noticed my saliva was really thick and slimy. And the water tasted weird. I don't know how to explain how it tasted, but it had a slimy and thick consistency. So I'm like, okay, what the heck? And I usually drink this probiotic smoothie from HEB, and I noticed that was thick and the flavor didn't taste that strong. So I'm like, okay. So then I had some salt and vinegar chips for a snack. I could taste the hint of it, but the flavor wasn't as strong. And I was like, okay, I just had these chips the night before. They didn't taste like this. So moral of the story, I was able to taste, but the taste wasn't as strong. So I'm like, oh my God, am I losing my taste? Does this mean I have COVID? So I started freaking out. I'm at work crying. I called the doctor because I'm asking my mom, asking my manager. They're like, I don't know, but everybody's different. This could be a symptom. And I know from my app that you can have a lot of spit in your mouth and it can cause like some stuff to taste different, and your hormones are all out of whack, but they're like, just call your doctor. So I called the doctor, and of course, since it's loss of taste, and that's a COVID symptom, she wanted me to get COVID tested. So I started freaking out, like, oh my gosh, like what if I have COVID? I'm gonna be very upset because I came this far. Mind you, I've never been COVID tested, so I was just freaking out about that. But then my doctor did say it could be a pregnancy hormone because your hormones are really, really out of whack right now, especially with being in the third trimester. So literally all day on Thursday, I was stressed, freaking out. Friday morning, I got a rapid COVID test. Very uncomfortable. She had to swab both of my nostrils. And it wasn't too painful. It was just uncomfortable and it felt weird and it burned and made my eyes water. So I got my results in 15 minutes and I tested negative. So I'm like, okay, it must have just been some kind of weird pregnancy hormone. And it was weird because it was like all day on Thursday. where I could barely taste, but then on Friday, everything was back to normal. Like if I drank water, it wasn't slimy. I was able to taste everything and it tasted normal. So I don't know. It was weird. I was scared, but I'm like, okay, luckily I don't have COVID. And for me, I was planning not to get my first COVID test until I had to go to the hospital and give birth, but went ahead and got it. But hopefully by August, I'll be able to do the mouth swab, because doing and just putting stuff up your nose while you're having contractions, that's just going to be a hot mess. And hopefully, like, the doctor that's doing it, she's as smooth as the doctor that did it the other day, because she was very slow and gentle. Some people just be trying to shove it up your nose, and I don't have time for that. But that is my crazy story. I was very scared. If I would have had COVID, I would have lost my mind, because one, I don't want to have COVID at all, and then especially being pregnant and having COVID. So I was just like, no, I don't have time. Plus, I don't have time to be quarantined for 2 weeks. No. So yeah. Oh yeah. And I also got my breast pump. I'm probably gonna do an unwrapping video soon. So it'll just be a video of me unwrapping the breast pump, and we're going through it. So that'll be its own separate video. I might do it tomorrow. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, any concerns, just let me know down below, or just text me, DM me directly or anything, and then I'll be able to answer your questions in the next video. And I'll see you guys next time.